So in this segment, we're going to be talking about a DEFRA committee of cross-party MPs releasing a quote bruising report on considerable trade friction and substantial red tape leading to substantive and enduring post-Brexit costs for food exporters. And this is one of the main reasons why I think exports have fallen. Also the fact that they have to do paperwork on the EU side as well. So why would you buy from somewhere where you have to do paperwork compared to somewhere where you don't have to do paperwork, if that makes sense? So this is phenomenal stuff from Faisal Islam. Once again, this guy's a real G. This is the one the BBC should be pushing, because this guy is one of the best around. So it says it here within the report summary. This is about exports. So January 1st, businesses exporting seafood and meat to the European Union have faced substantial new red tape requirements and checks at the border known as non-tariff barriers. So these are barriers, obviously, that aren't tariffs, that aren't financial. These are kind of rules around vet checks and customs declarations. We also know the fact that, look, if people call these things teething problems, yes, there will be efficiency savings made when people get better at the paperwork, but some of these exports simply will not happen when it comes to things like chilled meats and Class B shellfish. It's not going to happen, especially if the UK keep trying to reclassify waters. All that's going to do is make all UK shellfish banned because they can't trust the agency that classifies the water. But anyways, what we can gather from this is a bunch of cross-party MPs who on a committee have said there are massive non-tariff barriers, which contradicts everything that Boris Johnson said about no non-tariff barriers during, I think it was like November or December. The report calls for the government to re-enter discussions with the EU to lower new burdens for exporters through veterinary partnership, which is possible getting some sort of SPS agreement, but obviously the government aren't going to do that. It says it wasn't achieved by Lord Frost's negotiations because Lord David the Iceman Frost didn't put sufficient priority, resulting in the creation of non-tariff barriers. Obviously, even if we had an SPS agreement, there'll still be non-tariff barriers. There'll be there'll be less checks, so things will go through a lot easier. But the thing is, that's not going to happen. There's no way this thing's going to be reopened after all the pain, the hardship, and the frustration it caused. The consequences so far for the non-tariff barriers for food exporters, the MP's report says that it's not just teething problems, but imposing enduring costs. We know these aren't teething problems. This is the new normal. The teething problems are temporary. The new normal is, by definition, the new normal. This is the way things are going to be done, which may result in big businesses shifting processes to the EU and smaller businesses finding such exports unviable. So what that means is, British businesses, small businesses, maybe being run out, or they just lose a massive amount of their export market and have to cut jobs. They have to cut jobs because of it. And, I think JD have set up a distribution centre within the EU to help deal with all the issues that are happening because of Brexit. And that's more money flowing out of the UK. Whilst praising maintenance of zero tariffs, which again is a good thing, the report also says exporters have not received the standard of support they should have done to allow them to prepare. Do you remember when the government kept saying, get prepared for Brexit, all of this stuff, when no one actually knew what they're meant to be prepared for? That was the problem. Are there going to be, barriers? Are there going to be tariffs? We didn't know until the last week of December. So it's just, you can't tell someone to prepare for something and not tell them what to be prepared for. You can't send someone into Raccoon City and say, watch out, the locals are hostile, and then you find out they're goddamn zombies, and you're just like, mate, you did not prepare me for this at all. We are not all Leon on his first day in Raccoon City as a police officer. Also says delay in introducing import checks for imports of food from the EU places British businesses at a competitive disadvantage. That's something we mentioned as well, and creates incentives to relocate factories and jobs to the EU, because then they can export that stuff from the EU into the UK with ease. And it doesn't work the other way around, because the EU are doing what they're meant to be doing, which is import checks from the UK. We're a third country. Deal with it. The Prime Minister asserted the deal creates no non-tariff barriers to trade. Cross-party MPs said that's not the case, and there is substantial amounts of red tape and barriers. Government response to this report, the TCA, this is classic government fraudulent statement. The TCA has allowed us to take back control of our money, so why don't you use some of that money to pay for more customs agents and vets in order to help exporters? Maybe use some of that money, huh? Borders, laws and waters. No, it hasn't though, because we're still giving EU fishermen access to British waters. So, you've taken back control of the waters, but then you've given away control of the waters, if that makes sense. You took back the right of control only to give it away again. if that makes sense. It enables us to strike trade deals around the world to benefit of agri-food businesses across Europe. Again, these same agri-food places are going to most likely have to face, vet checks and customs declarations as well. So it doesn't change much, and any meat that goes further than Europe is going to have to be frozen, because you can't export fresh meat, over a period of days. You can't do it. It only lasts for so long. Fresh meat has a very low shelf life compared to frozen meat. So there's a helpful thread here from someone else. You can read that in your own time if you wish. But what we can gather from this is we haven't actually taken back control, and this cross-party committee, I hope they pull Boris Johnson in for questioning, because he has lied to the British people once again about no non-tariff barriers, and people knew this. People knew he was lying, but not enough people understood the problems with this. So it's just, it's a joke. But, great reporting from Faisal Islam. He really is one of the shining lights at the BBC, a guy who I wish would replace Laura Kuenssberg, to be honest. This guy's far better than Laura Kuenssberg. And, he has kind of pushed a bit for the UK to kind of get some sort of SPS agreement. He has asked Douglas Ross, I remember I covered that, about the UK maybe getting an SPS agreement with the EU. That's not going to resolve everything, but it means that there'll be, less physical checks, which makes exports easier. But at the same time, if you're within the EU, you have a massive opportunity to increase farming. I think Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, are taking up a lot of the slack left by the UK in terms of farming, and also the fact that Northern Ireland could increase the amount of meats they export to the EU as well, because they can export freely. There's no customs declarations or vet checks on cows raised in Northern Ireland, as far as I know of. So that's a massive opportunity for farming nations like the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland and other countries as well. That they have a massive opportunity to fill the void left by the UK, because you got to think, if you're an importer of British meat, right? Say you've imported it for a long time. Now you have to do paperwork on your side. You don't even know if that meat's going to get to you on time. You don't know if it's going to make it to you late or ever, because it might get stuck in transit. So what are you going to do? You're going to go for the suppliers who are more reliable. And what does that mean? You're going to buy from maybe Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, maybe Northern Ireland, maybe Denmark, maybe somewhere else where agri-foods are a major sector in their economy. This is a massive opportunity for those countries, and I hope they take it, because this is, the British meat export industry is going to suffer massively because of Brexit. I just hope people finally see through Boris Johnson's lies within these industries and vote against him. I don't know if they're going to do that. They have to start speaking up about the problems. But I think once we see the end of the furlough scheme and, the job losses created by Brexit, then maybe people will understand the reality. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll still think it's down to COVID. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.